to another episode with the three money amigos. Everybody's been traveling, celebrating birthdays, um, going on retreats, vacations. So we've been out for a little bit, but we're back. So we're back today because it's been a very timely topic floating around in everybody's world who has kids or who has gone to college: student loan forgiveness. And so today we have two of the three money amigos with you. Myself, Brent Simpson, and attorney Beverly Winstead. And Beverly, if you can give an introduction to everybody who I think mostly everyone knows you, but just for those that don't.
Yeah, sure. Beverly Winstead. I am the principal of the law offices of Beverly Winstead. We are a tax resolution firm. And, this topic is actually really timely. I've been getting calls from clients about how the student loan forgiveness will actually impact them, if anything. So, what we do is definitely we help taxpayers that have problems with the IRS, whether they're going through an audit or owe IRS a bunch of money. We help to, try to get some type of arrangement, whether it's a settlement or payment plan with the IRS. And we also do, some tax planning and tax preparation, helping clients get into compliance.
So the big question on the table, what? One of the three money amigos is missing is Joy Sistrunk, CPA. She has a full service CPA firm. And if you are in need of any CPA services, you can contact her at wpgs-cpa.com. And with that being said, what do you do? What is this the student loan forgiveness mean for you? Like anybody who went to college right now, just pause. And if you have questions, post your questions. We will answer them as we can. But what does the forgiveness mean? So, Beverly, I'm gonna turn this over to you. But it's also, I believe, it's at the federal level,
Yeah. So
not.
we'll talk a little bit about that, because the reason why I thought this was a timely topic is because there's a lot of controversy surrounding this whole forgiveness, right? People that have actually worked and paid off their loans. There's some people that are upset because they feel like, hey, I worked, I paid off my loans. This whole forgiveness thing is not fair, right? And then there are other people that say, $10,000 of forgiveness is not enough when I owe two and three and 400,000.
Well, when you
In
say
student loans.
$10,000 of forgiveness, what does that mean?
Yeah, so the 10,000. So last week, President Biden announced that he was going to do something about the student loan debt, which is one of his campaign promises, right? So he's delivering on one of his campaign promises to get rid of student loan debt. And what he actually signed into law was the $10,000 forgiveness on federal loans if your income is, if you're single, and head of household, I presume too, your income is less than $125,000, right? If you're married and your income is less than $250,000, then you also qualify for this relief. So it's $10,000 in federal student loans that will be abated, and up to $20,000 for people that have Pell Grants still outstanding.
Okay. Now, you all, for some of you thought the forgiveness meant your entire loan is forgiven. It is not. And I know there have been some people thinking, oh, well, how do I, start the process to get my loans forgiven, as if it's just guaranteed to be you. You need to make sure you qualify, number one. You need to know the type of loan that you have. And then you also need to know your tax situation. And this is why it's important to know your numbers. This is why the three money amigos exist, because we know a lot of people look at finances as, sometimes, some, not everybody, but sometimes people look at it as it's not important. It's over there. I'll pay my taxes when it's necessary. I'll look at my monthly income and expenses when it's necessary. And normally, let's be real, the times that are necessary when you're applying for a house, you're trying to get a car, you're trying to get financial aid for school, or if you're looking at retirement. Those are, I would say, primarily, unless you got a letter from the IRS. And if you got a letter from the IRS, that's not one of the plan times you were forced to look at it in that situation. But you have to know, because how do you know if you qualify or not?
Right. You definitely got to know your numbers. And even the process to go about applying, let's say you do qualify, right? So from what we're hearing right now, none of these are really, the application process really isn't etched in stone yet. But what we're hearing on the ground is that there are really two tracks. And the two tracks are, you are, number one, if you are already in an income-based or income-sensitive repayment, which is a program that was initiated under President Obama, I think. And that was also a program that was designed to give people relief when it comes to student loan payments. So I remember, and this is a good example, when I first started paying back my student loans, I couldn't breathe. My payment was over $1,000 a month, and I really couldn't afford it. And so those programs that President Obama initiated, the income sensitive and income based repayment, it brought my payment down at that time to maybe $150, which is something that was more palatable, right? I could afford that because I recognize that I mean, for me, my student loans were overwhelming, the amount of debt that I had taken out to go to law school. But the income sensitive repayment plan certainly helped me to be able to keep good credit, which was important to me, right? To not default on my student loan payments, and to be able to begin to chip away and eventually pay off my student loans. So there's two tracks. If you're already in the income sensitive or income based repayment, the federal government, the servicers are going to look, and they're going to use that income, and automatically, when you go into your account, you're going to see $10,000 removed from your account, and $20,000 if there's any Pell Grants. If you are not in an income sensitive or income based repayment plan, then you have to actually apply for forgiveness. And most servicers are saying that they're going to have their applications up and available by October, sometime in October. And if you want to see the debt being forgiven this year, you definitely need to apply by November 15th.
Yeah. And so for everybody watching, this is just one half of it. You still need to figure out, like, what happens if it is forgiven? What's the tax consequence? What happens with your payment plan? How does it change? How does this affect your budget? It's a lot of things that you need to consider that we just don't have time to go into today. But there's also a reason why you need to check back with Three Money Amigos, so we can give you more information on this going into the future. Now, if you do have questions and you want to reach out to Attorney Winstead, because you need to look at your taxes, you need to figure out how much you owe. You want to look at your numbers, right? And you need somebody to go through it with you. You can reach out to her. How would they get in contact with you?
Sure. They can certainly contact me at 301-306-1234. Or you can visit my website at www.irshelpattorneys.com. We'd be happy to talk to you.
And if you never taken your overall just accounting into consideration and you want to reach out to CPA Joy Sistrunk, you can go to pgs-cpa.com and find her and set up an appointment via her website. If you were interested in figuring out how to make your money work for you more efficiently, you can go to www.ieanow.com and join our online investing community, which we're growing by the second. And so we'd be happy to see you join our community. With that being said, we are the Three Money Amigos, and we will see you all next week.